Oh my goodness, we can't stop the bleeding, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading to the hospital. Boxing is in critical condition. And damn it, we don't know if boxing gonna make it. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people's talking about, oh, what fight they want to see 2025. Hey, yo, we don't know if boxing gonna make it past 2025. Huh? Yo, I'm gonna tell you like this. Boxing isn't life support. Isn't life support. More so than ever. I know that we've been talking about for years, boxing is not what it used to be. Boxing is not what it used to be. No. Boxing is close to being dead. Dead. I'm serious. I'm not over-exaggerating, folks. Look, as we all know, Top Rank Boxing, ESPN, that partnership is going to break up. That marriage is going to end summer, July 2025. You know what that says? You know what that's telling us? That there ain't going to be no American network showcasing the sport of boxing, especially in America. It's nobody investing into the sport of boxing, especially the American product. There is, yeah, you got Amazon Prime, but they're not putting no budget into PBC. So no more America. No major network is investing and giving budgets to boxing entity. Let me add this. Y'all already know the Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez, a.k.a. King Nello, a.k.a. Cartelo, a.k.a. Cash Nello, a.k.a. Payday, a.k.a. get the F out of here, man. You know that he's is in the end of his career. There's no real more big fights for Canelo Alvarez. And even Eddie Reynoso said, you know, it's not too many fights for Eddie Reynoso. He's not going to be here too long. Now, there's a potential fight maybe with Bud Crawford, in which a lot of people have been alluding. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a huge fan of that fight, but it is what it is. It creates the type of buzz that it needs. And maybe a David Benavidez fight, in which you already know that David Benavidez is moving up to fight David Morrell February 1st. He ain't going to come back down. I don't think that Canelo Alvarez is going to be moving back up. So that fight may not come to fruition. I think that Canelo Alvarez is probably going to have a, you know, like maybe exhibitions of the Conor McGregors of the world, something like, a Jake Paul, something like that. But Canelo Alvarez is near the end of his career. And Canelo Alvarez has been holding boxing down in North America. He's been holding boxing down. He's been keeping boxing alive in North America because, to be honest, he's the one that brings in the major fan base and the bag and the Mexican, you understand what I'm trying to say? But if Canelo Alvarez retire, what's going to happen? Now, Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the cash cows of this young generation. He announced that he's going to be retiring after 2025, that this is going to be his last year. This upcoming year is going to be his last year. He said it in the press conference in the Barclays Center, New York City, my city. You know, to the press conference he had with Lamar Rose that he's going to be fighting March 1st. Now, we all know that Gervonta Davis bring that niche fan, bring that type of traffic in which other guys in the sport of boxing of his young generation doesn't bring. And matter of fact, let's put it this way. Gervonta Davis ain't even that young, 30 years old. And could we depend on Gervonta Davis to really fight the fight that we want him to fight? The type of fights that's going to save the sport of boxing. So we're not going to have no American major network. We're not going to have Canelo Alvarez that's going to bring the fan base. He's the cash cow, the Mexican, Latino fan base, the interest for casuals, right? And then Gervonta Davis, who brings in his numbers, you know what I'm saying, pack arenas, he's going to be out. What's next? So let me say it like this, folks. If y'all thinking about what fights that y'all want to see 2025, forget about what y'all want to see. What fight is going to save the sport of boxing 2025 leading to 2026? That's where we at today. And even if you're looking at from the women's side of things, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, they're nearing the end of their career. 2025, we might have the trilogy, but then what happens after that? You understand what I'm trying to say, folks? Boxing gonna be dead. Gonna be dead. So, folks, what we need to do is pick the fights that's going to save the sport of boxing beyond 2025. 2025 is so crucial. Promoters, listen up. Turkey Al-Shiki, my friend, you have to save the American boxing. And look, I like what Turkey Al-Shiki is doing, but these fights are outside of America. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, yeah, we got some great fights, but think about it. We was going to have Virgil Ortiz and Boots, and it's out there in the Middle East. As a matter of fact, even if we're talking about a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford, that's going to be out there. Think about it. If Canelo Alvarez would have said yes to the David Benavidez fight, right, it was not going to happen over here. It was going to happen over there. So what are the fights that's going to keep boxing alive beyond 2025? Now, the boxing community, we got to have all hands on deck. We got to ask for these particular fights. It might be one, it might be two or three, 2025, that we need for the powers that be to listen and to deliver. All right? For real, folks. Look, the only people that's keeping boxing alive in America, to be honest, is YouTube boxing content creators. Imagine if we all say, you know what, we ain't going to create nothing. Man, who's going to be talking about the sport of boxing? Who's going to keep people engaged into the sport of boxing? Not ESPN, not Fox, none of these major sports networks, because they don't even talk about boxing. But we have to be a collective front and ask for fights for them to deliver to save American boxing. Right? What are those fights? Okay, let's talk about it. It's hard to depend on Gervonta Tank Davis to deliver the type of fights that we want, but these are the fights that we need from Gervonta Tank Davis before he's out. Dare to be great, fight Teofimo Lopez or Shakur Stevenson. Can't leave without it. And hope and put it this way. Look, I gotta say this. Whoever fights Gervonta Tank Davis, since this is gonna be his last year, hopefully Shakur Stevenson wins, or hopefully Teofimo Lopez wins. Because think about it, you beat Gervonta Tank Davis, then leading up to 2026, then you the man. You are really truly the man, right? You're going to adopt that type of fan base, going to adopt that type of energy, captivate the imagination, the emotions of the boxing fans. That's what is going to lead us into 2026. Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez. Now, we got to give credit to Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia may be the one that's going to hold the keys, because he's the guy that, how you say it? He's the guy that creates that type of buzz and sells and create that type of traffic alongside with Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez, that's the fight that we want to see. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney 2 rematch, that's the fight that needs to happen 2025. Right? Who else? If Canelo Alvarez will give us the David Benavidez fight, not necessarily the Bud Crawford fight, because Bud Crawford is also is looking to retire. He only got probably one fight left, and that's remember, he just want to get the Canelo Alvarez fight. If he don't get that fight, he's done. I hope that he could fight Jermell Charlo, but anyway, even Jermell Charlo is probably nearing end of his career as well, as he's 34, 35 years old. So Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez, and the victory needs to be with David Benavidez, because he's young, 27, 28 years old. That's going to lead us into 2026, the phenom of David Benavidez. And he then holds the keys. He's the predecessor of Canelo Alvarez. There's no more heavyweights. There's no heavyweights in the pipeline, so we can't even look at the heavyweight division and stuff like that. Richie Torres, I like Richie Torres, a good, entertaining fighter, but I don't know if he's the one, to be honest. Doesn't have the charisma, in my opinion. Does he? I don't know. It's something about him that it's just we don't gravitate towards him. These are the fights. Like, I like the Bam Rodriguez of the world, but who does he have, to mix it up with? The little division is hard for you to really really create that type of traffic. You know what I'm saying? Unless if you like Prince Nassim and start dancing and start talking that trash, right? Unless the Ben Rodriguez go out there and fight and Naoya Inoue beats Naoya Inoue, but that fight is not going to happen in 2025. The guys is going to have to save the sport of boxing is going to be the likes of Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney. Also, a Teofimo Lopez versus a Devin Haney fight as well. Because we also got to think about the promo. The promo is going to be just as important as the fight. You feel me? The promo is going to be just as important because that's going to keep people engaged. And hopefully the fight ends. And put it this way, folks. Not only do we need the fight, we need the electricity. We need the winner or the two fighters to captivate the imagination, the emotions of the boxing fans like Thomas Hearns and Hart and Hagler did. Remember, when that fight happened, it was on a Monday prime time, meaning everybody was watching it. Remember, there was no Monday Night Football. Everybody was watching. And it was electric. Even if it was 3 rounds, remember, Hagler beat Hearns in 3 rounds. But people still remember that first round. And throughout the fight, they were just going at it. It has to be that. It just can't be, to be honest, it just can't be like a Beterbiev and Bivol where, yeah, it's a good, entertaining back and forth. Yeah, it's good. Or even a Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G. No. It got to end in spectacular fashion. It has to be a performance like a Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney. Because if we really think about that, if we really think about 2024, what's the performance that you think about? Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. When you put everybody in their feet, matter of fact, in the end of the day, a fight like that, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, it gotta be like that. Where people are standing up at their feet, everybody is talking about it, win, lose, or draw. You just love the fight. And you gain respect for both parties. Can you imagine Gervonta Tank Davis? Because I believe that Gervonta Tank Davis and Teofimo Lopez is the most dynamic combo matchup that this generation has to offer because of the speed and power, twitch muscle, IQ, all of that, athleticism. Because Teofimo Lopez, who hired Eddie Reynoso, you already know, Teofimo Lopez Sr. plus Eddie Reynoso equals the Takeover 2.0. Will Teofimo Lopez, and he's asking for the biggest fights. He's asking for the competition. Is Teofimo Lopez going to take over the sport of boxing leading to 2026 if he gets the fight that he's calling for? Because I'm going to say it like this, ain't nobody in the sport of boxing that's calling out for the great fights, the challenging fights like Teofimo Lopez, like calling out Jerome Bruce, Anderson Bud, and Tank. Let's go.